Okay, so I think most of you inside the classroom. So can we start our class?
Can, sir.
Okay. Okay, I will start to share with the lesson plan. So before that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so we'll start with the lesson plan so that we can see what is the class is all about. Okay, this is your first week in the class of CES 513, Computational Analysis for Engineers. Okay, so there are 4 lecturers that will teach this subject. My name is Shahrul Fitri, and the rest, Dr. Noor Ashikin, Puan Nurlizan, and Encik Muhammad Zaini Endut. Okay, so for the assessment wise, okay, evaluation wise, we have 3 kind of assessment. So on cognitive part, on cognitive assessment, so we have asked you to do 2 kind of assignment, which assignment number 1 and number 2. Each of them will assess you 30%, making 60% in total. And remember that this assignment 1 and assignment 3 will replace your final exam. So when this assessment replacing your final exam, this mark cannot be exposed to you and will be kept hidden until the Senate endorse it. Okay? The other kind of assessment will be the Psychomoto Assessment that will be done under assignment number 3, or you can use another name as a practical test, where it is allocated about 30%, and only one test only assigned for this. Only one test will be assigned for this. So it's a video online test where we will test you by online, and you have to record live your video, your screen, including your face. And you have to show to us how you write the program within 20 minutes. Okay, within 20 minutes, and you have to upload that video within certain times. And if you exceed that time, we cannot accept your submission, and you cannot get any marks. Unless you have a certain other kind of reason, then you can discuss with us, allow you to extend a bit of time, but within that time, but within that certain short time only. And the third component is to test your affective domain, which is on project basis, and the marks will be 10%. And in this project, we have to work in group. The group will consist of 5 students. You have to select your own members to be as your group members, and you will work together to solve a complex engineering problem, and you will get 10% marks. So in total of them will be 100%. And I want to mention it again, assignment 1 and assignment 3 marks will not be given to you until at the end of the semester, and after the Senate endorse it, then you get the whole marks. And usually we'll give you the 40% marks as the continuous assessment, as usual that you have before. Okay, so assessment wise, evaluation wise, do you have any questions to ask from the rest of the students? If you have any questions to ask about the evaluations?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, in terms of course outcome, COs, and program outcome, POs, we have 3 course outcomes and 3 program outcomes that is relevant to your assessment given before. So for your assignment 1 and assignment 2, where it is testing your cognitive skills, then this course outcome will test you on how what is your ability to analyze the given civil engineering problem by finding reasonable ideas and with certain justifications. And this will be in align with your PO2, program outcome 2, where you have to be tested on to identify, on formulation, and on analysis the given civil engineering problem, and usually it will be a complex problem, so that you can use your previous knowledge of mathematics and science to solve that problem. So this will be under your assignment 1 and assignment 2, that giving you 60%. The second course outcome, which is course outcome 2, is to test your ability whether you have the current mathematical knowledge and you can adapt it using engineering software. So the engineering software that you will use in this course with me and Puan Nur Ashikin, Dr. Nur Ashikin, will be Octave and one special finite element program. So this is aligned with your program outcome 5, PO5, where PO5 will be the ability of you to utilize the given appropriate techniques, the given resources, and how to use the modern engineering and IT, especially to predict and to model the given civil engineering problem. Okay, so that is under CO2 and PO5. And the last course outcome, which is course outcome 3, will be testing you under the member or teamship or leadership to test you how is responsible you as a member and as a leader of the group that is acting in the multidisciplinary environment project in order to solve the given civil engineering problems. Okay, and this CO3 will be aligned with your PO9, which is in EC EC221. PO9 is for to test your ability to function as individual, either as a member or as a leader in the multidisciplinary settings. Okay, so do you have any question about COs and POs?
Also no.
Tak ada soalan Okay. So in terms of textbooks, it is recommended you have these 2 kind of resources. The first one is very good for your lecture. The book is Numerical Method for Engineers. It is published by McGraw-Hill Science, and the book was written by Chapra and Kennel. And the latest one, I think this is 2015, if I'm not mistaken. So get the latest book of this, because this will assist you on doing or understanding your lecture content. And the second book is recommended for your laboratory part, especially for Octave. The title of the book is Matlab, An Introduction with Application. And I think this is 9th edition, the current one. This is published by Wiley and Sons, and the author is Gilad A. I think 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So you have to refer to the internet, what is the current year here, and get the latest book of this. So these 2 books is very good if you have to assist you on understanding the lecture content and also to understand the laboratory activities. Okay, so we straight away to the lesson plan. So before we start our lecture after this, we have about another 1.5 hours. So ensure that you have already or you are about to perform your entrance survey. Okay, entrance survey that you should do in your student portal. So please log on in your student portal and perform this entrance survey. So whoever have problem to do this entrance survey, please remind us back so that we can do something on the system to ensure that you can answer this entrance survey. And hopefully Puan Nolizan also have given to you the diagnostic test, okay, during the lecture time. So please do that and submit that diagnostic test in your MS team. And in this for 1 month, please form your own group that consisting of 5 students so that you can work in the group after this. And usually the project will be given 1 month from this week. So you have enough time to select your good members. Okay. So now I want to talk about our activities today. Lab number 1, introduction to Matlab. Okay, and the objective or the learning outcome of this lab is to understand these 4 pillars outcomes, which is to make you understand on how to use the desktop layout so that you can perform efficient programming. Okay, and you have to understand what is Workspace in Octave or Matlab, and you are exposed also on how to perform writing and creating your own variables, how to perform mathematical expressions so that you can deliver the output that you wanted from your problem. Okay, and last but not least is to make sure so you have this understanding on performing file manipulation, such as file script editing, script saving, printing, and so on. And so this is much more to the introduction on how to use a software to perform problem solving on your complex engineering problem. Okay. Okay, so the rest of the lesson plan you can read on your own. Okay, but I just want to show you when is the possible time for your assignment 3 or practical test that will be conducted somewhere on your week 12. Week 12 meaning that after your new year lah, 4 of January. Okay, so within 1 week we'll perform your online psychomoto assessment using videos. Okay, so you have ample time. It's about 10 weeks or 11 weeks from now. So you have sufficient time to do that. Okay. So is there any question on the assessment-wise, program outcome, course outcome, and also content for today? Do you have any questions?
I want to ask about the book.
Okay.
Whether the book we have to buy it or is there any ebook we can download?
In terms of ebook, there is a lot of this ebook inside internet, and if you very note that the library also given to you a URL where you can access a lot of textbook freely. So you can go to the library, ask them what is the URL that you can access a lot of books by free. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, that URL will be PDF files. If I'm not mistaken, www.pdffile.com. But please check with the librarian because they have given these tools to all students so that you can download the book. But if you have the book physically, it's much more better because you can browse the book on your own rather than using screen. So it depends on you. What is your options? Whether to get it online or you buy it on your own, or you can photo-state it if you have that only restricted kind of money, isn't it? Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. Okay, so we will start our lecture. So I want to focus more on the content of our lecture. Okay. So can you see the screen clearly?
Clear, sir.
Okay. Okay. I just want to mention that before the COVID-19, meaning that in the September 2019 until March 2020, we are using Matlab for programming. Okay. In that time, Matlab can be used. Why? Because that software has been bought by UiTM Penang. So all of the students that use that software, you can go to the laboratory classroom and you can use the software legally because UiTM has paid it. So the license needs kind of licensing. So when the COVID-19 suddenly came on March, 18th of March, so all of the students have no access to the lab, to the computer lab, and we have to use other means program so that we can do legal activities, because using Matlab by downloading it from hacked website, it is illegal. So I have found that using another alternative software called as Octave, it is still the same like Matlab, almost 99% same as Matlab, and this Octave is a free software. This is the good thing of Octave, and it can perform 99% like Matlab. So there is no issue saying that you are not studying Matlab. You are already studying Matlab by using Octave. The good point of Octave is that you are using free software. So I hope all of you understand why suddenly we shift to Octave, because we don't want to have issue about illegal software usage. Okay? Are you okay with that?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as I said before, we want to understand what is the desktop layout of Octave. Okay. So this is the desktop layout of Octave, where you can see that arrow pointing here. This is the region that we call as command window. You may see that I'm using my mouse here, showing you the command window. So what is this area used for? This area is very useful for you to write your commands, to write your computer instructions, so that Octave will know what you want to run after you press enter. Okay, so this is the heart of the software, because it will allows you to write certain commands, and you can solve a lot of problems by after typing that commands. The second region that you should understand is this region that we call as file browser, but sometimes I'm using this word directory. So this area you can allow you to access your files from certain directories or from your pen drive, okay, so that you can open it and you can display it in this command window, okay. And the third space that you should understand here, we call it as workspace. This is the region that we call as workspace. This region is very useful because in this region, this is where all of your variables will be listed. All of your created variable by you in this command window will be created in this workspace, and you can see the content of each of the variables. So this is a very, very useful feature, and we cannot find this feature in C++. In C++, I do believe that you cannot see the variable unless you type the variable name and you press enter, and then you can see that variable and its content. However, in Octave and Matlab, you can visualize the variable and its content at any time that you like without to run it. Okay? So this is a useful feature as compared to C++. And the last one area that is very useful to you, this region we call as command history, where all of the command that you type in command window, okay, any command that you type here in command window, when you press enter button, that command will be listed in the command history. So let's say if you type this command for 1 year, so any command that you type for 1 year also will be listed in this command history. Okay? So this is very useful sometimes because you want to retrieve your previous command that you have typed before, and then you can refer whether the command you have typed, and you can reuse it back in command window. So maybe some of you are still blur with this. We will do some kind of exercise after this. It's a kind of hands-on so that you can appreciate what I'm talking about. So before I'm doing my Octave session, just want to know all of you have downloaded Octave from internet and store it inside your computer. Did you do that?
Done, sir.
Sudah Jangan tak download Okay, so how to access your Octave that you have downloaded is very easy. You just point your mouse on this area, okay, beside the Windows button start, and you just type Octave, okay, and you may see that there are two kinds of software or apps will be appeared. One is in GUI mode, another one is in CLI mode. So for user friendliness type of software, please click use GUI. If you click CLI, then you will have a DOS version. So I will try to show you the CLI version, which is not required for us. So this is a very boring environment where you have to use DOS version, and it is very, very not user friendly. You can use this one, but it's not so good. So I would like to use the GUI version. This you have a graphical user interface, and you may see that it is a window version. Okay, so the same layout that I've shown to you in the PowerPoint. Okay, so this is where the place that is set as command window. Okay, where you can type a lot of things here. Okay, I can type anything there, whatever that I want to type. Okay, and this is the directory that you can change your file folder. So I can change to desktop. You can retrieve on what folder in your pen drive, but I do not put any pen drive, so you can try on your own. And this is the region that we call as workspace. So you may see that there is a variable here, ANS suddenly is created here, with a content value of 2 here, because the last value of ANS is 2. And also we have a command history here that show you what is the command that I have typed before. So you can see that I type gsgddd whatever here. It's also state here gsddd, gddd 1, 2, and so on. So anything that you have typed will be stored here. Okay. So can you understand that one? You have any problem?
Okay.
Okay, boleh follow
Boleh.
So now I want to show you how Matlab works. Okay, not Matlab, how Octave works. So Octave is just like a scientific calculator that you can perform a lot of scientific operation. So one as the simple example, if let's say I want to add 1 plus 2. So I just type like that and I press enter and you get the answer directly, just like that, just like a calculator. And if you still remember, in your scientific calculator, any output that you're from calculator will be stored in ANS variable, isn't it? If you still remember your scientific calculator. So the same thing also done in Octave, where the last variable, the last output will be stored to ANS variable. And in your workspace also, that NS will be shown. So you can see that that variable is shown in workspace containing value of 3. Okay, let's say I'm doing a subtraction operation, 1 minus 2, and be -1. So you may see that that 3 value now is being replaced to -1, and that is assigned to variable ANS here. Nampak tak? It's being replaced. So if I want to multiply 1 times 2, so in Octave and Matlab, in order to multiply, you have to use this symbol, asterisk. 1 times 2, so I just press enter. So that value will be 2. So the -1 now will be replaced by 2. That will be stored in ANS variable. And you may see that this is ANS variable. Okay, so maybe you want to form division, 1 divided by 2. So it is equal to 0.5 here. So you may see that ANS here is equal to 0.5. So in workspace also ANS is equal to 0.5. Okay, let's say I want to perform power 1 kuasa 2, 1 to the power 2. So this is the power of 2. You must use this symbol 1 kuasa 2. So it is equal to 1. So you may see that ANS now is equal to 1. Is there any question for this? Can you understand, or you want to repeat, or you want to add?
So yang variable answer tadi memang macam tu ke?
That is a default variable of anything that you perform, any operation.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
default. It's a default variable. Okay, any questions?
Sekali tak ada, sir.
Oh, sedap lagu tu. Okay, apa dia? So saya harap sangat you jangan mutekan, bukan tak mute, memang suruh you mute suara. Tapi saya takut you mute suara and then you dengar lagu, you tak dengar lecture ni pun. So saya amat kecewa lah kalau itu berlaku sebab buat lecture by online ni kita kena jujur lah. Saya pun kena jujur, you pun kena jujur. Sebab saya tak nak nanti saya terang dengan begitu jelas kat sini tapi ada yang tak mengambil bahagian dalam ni. So tolong kita buang pekat sifat yang tak elok kepada yang murni. So jangan buat benda yang tak elok lah. Kalau kita dengar lecture. Sebab semua ni akan jadi kita punya darah daging. Semua yang kita buat ni semua jadi darah daging kita. Kita dapat markah semua tu rezeki Tuhan. So kalau dapat rezeki yang tak betul dan semua tak betul dalam Islam kita dah lain. Okay, never mind. Kita bagi balik pada lecture kita. Okay, so now if you see that this blinking cursor at the end of this line, okay, is at the bottom of this program. So usually if I want to clear the screen, so can you see that this part I don't want to see anymore? I want to clear it so that I have a fresh screen. So what is the command that you should do? You have to tap CLC. So CLC meaning that clear the screen. So when I press enter, you may see that this content at the top will be gone. Okay, see carefully what will happen. You may have a fresh screen and all of the content before will be gone. Nampak Ni penting you kena faham ni because sometimes you want to clear the unnecessary commands. You want to start with a fresh screen. Okay, so now I want to show you another features of Octave where you can assign a variable to a value. So previously, if I show you, when you do this addition, all of the value will be stored to a default variable, which is A and S. Okay, in fact, I can store that value to a variable. Let's say I want to assign to variable D is equal to 1 plus 2. So when I press enter, so that 3 value will be assigned to variable D. And that can be shown in this workspace where you have a variable D that has been created there containing value of 3. Nampak? Nampak beza ini dengan ini? This one you are not assigned to any variable, but on this line you assign to a specific variable that you want. Let's say this variable is D. So now the variable is not A and S anymore here, but now it is being D. Sebab you memang nak D kan? So see also on the workspace, variable D is created and it is containing value of 3. Okay, let's say I want to perform another operation. Let's say small a is assigned to value of 1. And let's say big A is equal to 11. Let's see. Okay, and I want to add up small a and big A. I want to store that result maybe to a variable E. So what should be the output of E if I run this code? What is the possible output of E if I add small a and big A?
12.
12, not 10, because small a is 1, big A is 11. So if I press enter, E is equal to 12. And you can see in your workspace, big E here containing value of 12. Nampak? And remember that small a and big A is same variable. Kena faham Small a and big A is not referring to same variable. It's referring to two different variable. Even though they memang A. Cuma dia ada satu lowercase, satu lagi uppercase. So be very careful. Contohnya, if I type this variable, aku is equal to 11 dengan aku is equal to 11. This aku and this aku is not the same. Even though they have called the same value, but they are different. Why? You can see that on Workspace, aku and this aku is two different variables. That's why they are not combined. They are two different variables. They are separated. Nampak ni? Even though they have same value. So when you define your variable, please very careful, because sometimes you akan complain dengan saya, "Cik, kenapa saya buat ni tak dapat, Cik?" Dia lupa pada awalnya define benda tu dengan lowercase. Kemudian bila dibuat ke bawah, sebab dia dah lupa kat atas tu dia type dengan lowercase, dia guna uppercase. Confirm jawapan dia tak sama. So itu yang biasa berlaku lah pada programmer yang baru nak belajar lah. So please be careful and understand what is the variable that you have typed to store certain values. You must be careful. I think in your C++ also you have that kind of problem. So the same thing also can happen in Octave. So is there any questions so far for this?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Boleh? Okay, let's say you can see that on my workspace I have several listed of variable. Ada banyak lah. D, E, small e, aku, NS, apa lagi? Yang tadi ada E, aku besar kan? And let's say I want to delete one of the variable. I want to delete variable D. So what will be, how I'm doing? How do I clear variable big D ni? Supaya dia hilang daripada workspace. Macam mana kita nak buat? How do I delete variable D? Right click, yes, that's also correct. You can delete, you can clear, boleh, tak ada masalah. Okay, but I'm asking you in terms of command. What is the command that you can do to delete or to erase variable D? So the command is clear. Yeah, clear. You type the variable that you want to clear, let's say D. So see carefully when I press enter, what will happen to the workspace. When I push enter button, variable D will gone from the workspace. Okay, there is one variable. How about if I want to delete variable aku, variable A, and variable E? So how do I do that? I want to delete 3 variables.
Clear aku, comma.
Aku must have empty space, and then E, empty space, and small a. So see carefully when I press enter, you may see that aku, big E and A will be vanish. Okay? And if I want to, let's say I have 1 million variable, yang ni ada 3 lah. Assume that I have 1 million variable there. So are you willing to type that whole variable, yang 1 million tu, in order to clear?
No.
So macam mana nak buat cara yang paling pendek to clear all variables?
Clear all.
Clear all. Yes, you are right. Clear all. Okay, just want to know why we need to clear this variable. Apa function ni? Kenapa kena delete pula? Rasa-rasa sebab apa?
Tak nak variable overwritten.
Tak nak variable?
Overwritten dengan variable baru. Tak tahu lah. Kot lah.
Tak berapa tepat, tapi cubaan yang baik. Tak berapa tepat lah, tapi cubaan yang baik. Tak sampai dia punya sasaran. Apa lagi? Okay, remember that in your MS Team, I will always remind you about the memory, 8 gigabytes minimum. Okay, in order to use features of Octave and Matlab, you requires memory. So by typing, let's say this thing, by typing this, by typing whatever that I'm typing here is, let's say this one, you are using your memory. all of this consuming memory. So maybe initially your computer memory is 8 gigabyte. So after I'm typing this, maybe your memory now reduced to be 7.99 gigabyte. So you have been using up maybe 0.1 gigabyte. Okay, so by using a lot of operation in Octave, your memory will be get reduced and reduced and reduced. So maybe can be reduced until 1 gigabyte. And imagine that on that time suddenly you open also your Word, you open your game PUBG, and suddenly you also want to open Octave. Can you run it? Can you run all of that program at one time?
Cannot.
No.
Cannot,
Okay,
sir.
because PUBG pun dah makan berapa banyak memori, confirm dia banyak gila. Lepas tu you punya memori masa tu dah kurang jadi 1 gigabyte. So that's why you have to release certain variable yang tak berguna, yang tak pakai, so that it can restore back your memory maybe to be 6 gigabyte. So you delete lah yang unnecessary variable yang you tak nak, supaya you punya memory tu cukup untuk buat kerja lain. Even though kadang-kadang you guna Octave pun, you punya memori dah jadi 1 gigabyte, you nak run lagi dah tak cukup memori dah sebab dia perlu guna memori lagi. So that's why on that time you have to delete some of unnecessary variable so that the memory will be increased and Octave can be run again. So that's why I give you why you have to clear that variables. Okay, jelas?
Jelas.
Okay, sekarang ni I want to ask you. Now how I want to delete this? I don't want this anymore. What should I type?
CLC.
Clear all.
Clear all lain CLC lain Apa ni? Clear all ke CLC ni?
CLC.
Okay. What is the difference between CLC and clear all?
CLC the clear display.
Clear display. But what happened to the workspace?
Tak clear.
Tak ada effect So see what will happen. Is it true or not? I will type CLC and press enter. You may see that the command window will gone, but nothing happened to workspace. And typing clear all is a very dangerous. Why? Because you will lose all of your variable. Yang ni memang sakit lah. Kalau you tengah buat kerja, kalau you nanya dia type clear all, tekan enter, orang tu memang patut kena tumbuk lah. Sebab kadang-kadang you dah banyak buat kerja, you tunggu dekat 2 jam, nak dapat that variable, tiba-tiba kalau you memang clear all type ni, memang nak kena penumbuk lah. So use this command very careful. Clear all ni very careful. Kena guna very careful. Jangan guna sesuka hati lah. Dengan tujuan tertentu sajalah. Unless you very need to clear all the variable. Okay? Faham Boleh? Okay. Okay. If let's say I have typed clear all, okay, clear all, and then suddenly I want to retrieve back what have been typed before. Macam mana saya nak buat tu? Saya nak retrieve balik command I have typed before supaya saya tahu, oh ni saya dah type dah. Saya rasa kat mana saya nak cari tu?
Dekat command history.
Command history, betul. So you boleh nampak ni command history ni saya rasa daripada bulan berapa saya tak tahu saya simpan ni. Dah lama ni, daripada 11 Oktober. 11 Oktober sampailah sekarang ni ada kat sini. So you can see that what I have typed before is listed here, nampak ni? Yang aku clear di semua ada kat sini. So if let's say you dah clear kat sini kan, and you want to retrieve back your command, you just double click dan dia akan tulis kat situ directly. So let's say I point mouse to A is equal to 1, I double click and you can see that it is transferred to the command window. Nampak? Saya just double click, dia transfer ke command window. So I type ni, nampak dia transfer to command window. So kalau saya clear all, saya masih lagi ada maaf. Kalau clear all pula, CLC ada maaf. Kenapa ada maaf? Sebab dia ada kat sini lagi. Kan? Tapi kalau clear all, dengan variable hilang lah. So you can retrieve back your commands by using command history. So this is why, as I said, you need at least 8 GB RAM. Sebab nak buat benda ni, kena pakai memori. Command history nak simpan semua command ni guna memori. Lepas tu you type variable pula, pakai lagi memori. You type kat sini juga guna memori. So memang kena ada 8 GB memori at least. upgrade lah komputer you. Kalau tak ada cukup memori, upgrade lah. Baru 100 lebih je pun. Kalau 8 tu tambah lagi satu slot lagi 4 GB RAM. Sebab semua benda ni makan memori. So jangan ingat PUBG je makan memori. Octave makan memori. Octave makan memori. Okay? Boleh faham?
Boleh.
Okay, so now we want to do some kind of exercise with me. You don't have to do anything. You just see me. So I want to show you how to perform one simple exercise. Where is it? This one, accompanying examples. Okay. So this example has been taken from your CS420 Static and Dynamics, where I want to compute the properties of section of a semicircle. Okay, that semicircle is characterized by A meaning that the distance from the center to the left side is A, and vertical distance from the center to the top part is B. And the area can be calculated by this formula. Moment of inertia can be computed by this formula, and gyration radius can be computed by this formula. So I want to use Octave to perform these three calculations. So how to do that? So make sure that your screen is fresh, no command. So I will start to put my input. So if you see your input carefully, it requires A and B. And you nampak ni semua A and B kan? So meaning that I have to type what is value of A. Let's say A is 1 meter, katalah. They say B is 1 meter. Let's say. Okay, and to find the area, the formula is pi AB over 2. So pi is 3.14 times A times B over 2. Okay, so I press enter. Okay, so you can see that your A and B is defined here. A is equal to 1 on the workspace. B also is equal to 1, and area is equal to 1.57. Okay. So radius of moment of inertia. So you cannot declare your variable like this. Moment inertia. You cannot put like this. It will create an error. Why? Because you have empty space here. Tak boleh ada empty space. Use underscore, or you have to make it close like that. So I'm going to use underscore is equal to, so what is the formula? Pi AB over 8, pi times A times B over 8, multiplied by A square, A to the power of 2. That is square to the power of 2, A kuasa 2 plus B kuasa 2. So when I press enter, your moment of inertia is 0.785 meter square, meter to the power of 4, and moment of inertia is 0.85 listed in workspace. So the same thing for radius or gyration. Radius gyration equal to, what is the formula? Square root. So what is the function of square root in C++? Remember? Square root? SQRT, A to the power of 2 plus B to the power of 2 divided by 2. Because the formula is square root A kuasa 2 campur B kuasa 2 bagi 2. So this will be the expression. So by pushing enter button, the gyration is 0.70707 meter, and it is listed also in workspace like this. So the rest of the variable saya tak nak, D dengan ini saya tak nak, saya boleh clear lah. Clear D, E, apa lagi yang tak pakai lagi? D and E boleh. Oh, sorry. BA pun tak perlu, so clear A. So only this variable that you wanted, the rest saya tak perlulah. Okay, boleh tak ikut yang ni?
Boleh.
Okay, ada tak apa-apa masalah tentang kod ni? Maksudnya, can you see that if let's say I want to edit A is equal to 2, B is equal to 1, how can possibly I do that? Suddenly I want to change A jadi 2, B jadi 3. Saya rasa macam mana saya nak buat tu? Cuba you fikir sekejap dalam masa 30 saat. Sekejap saya nak tengok answer saya. Sekejap. Cuba you fikir 30 saat.
Kan dekat value.
Okay, rasa-rasa macam mana nak edit tu? Can you possibly edit this? Boleh saya nak edit ni?
Oh.
Cannot. Memang tak boleh.
Boleh.
Once you done, it's like that. That's it. Macam mana nak edit?
Kan dekat value kat workspace.
Pergi
The
ke
only way to
workspace
do that, the only to that you have to type it again. A is equal to 2. Let's say B is equal to 2. Okay. And then I have to copy this formula. And I paste here. And you get another value. Cuma renyah lah sikit kan. You nak buat kerja ni lah, renyah kan. Kena buat macam tu lah, letih lah sikit. Is there any the best way to do this? Yes, you can do a more better way by using script. Okay, so how to use script? How to create a script is very easy. You just point your mouse to file, new script. So maybe in your C++ also you have create C++ script. So the same thing in Matlab and Octave, you also can perform new script by clicking files, new and new script. Ataupun you boleh terus tekan Ctrl N, much more faster. And you have an empty script there. Nampak ni? So you can type lah, A is equal to 1, B is equal to 1. Okay. And I don't want to type the whole thing. I want to copy and paste only. Sebab saya tak nak buat kerja, banyak kerja. I just copy and I paste to the editor. I just copy also the moment of initial formula. You can type. If you want to type, you can type. But if the formula can be pasted, why not? You just using it. So radius of gyration is 1. Copy and paste it. Okay. So we can save this file. So file, save as. I want to put in my desktop. So maybe the name of this file is section properties. So I just bagi nama lah, section properties. And if I minimize this Octave, you can see that file, this is the file. Setakat ni okey tak? Boleh ikut tak?
Boleh saya.
So this is the file yang saya dah buat tadi. Nampak ni? Saya boleh drag, nampak ni. Ni file dia. So I open back my Octave. Basically if I close this file, saya boleh open balik lah. File, open. Carilah tadi dekat mana tadi? Section prop ni. Dia keluar balik. Okay. So in this, I can change. Nampak? I can change. Easily. Tak macam tadi kan. Tadi tu you kena letih sikit kan. Okay. So if you want to see the output, I can run it. Run, save file and run. And see what is the output in this command window. So point your mouse to the command window. And you can see that this is the output. Where A is equal to 2, B is equal to 2, alias is 0.28, blah, 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 lah. So let's say if I change this one A to be 3, B is equal to 2, so run it again, and I can have another output yang di bawah ni. Nampak It is now much more easier lah because you can edit and you can run. Kalau you guna command window tadi, you kena replace the value of A and B, and then you kena copy and paste formula tu leceh lah. Bukan tak boleh, tapi leceh lah kan. This one is much more easier. Okay, boleh?
Boleh.
Okay, there is a problem also with this is output. Rasa-rasa you suka tak ada output yang dekat atas ni?
Right.
Buang.
Rasa mengganggu kan? Kalau boleh kita nak output tu bila kita run, output ni je keluar. Ni setiap kali kita run, dia bertimpik dekat bawah ni. Contoh kalau saya run sekali lagi yang ni 4, yang ni 1. I run it again. And see what is the output. Nampak dia bertambah kat bawah tu. Yang kat atas ni macam tak hilang kan? Menyemak kan? So macam mana kita nak buang yang atas ni? What we should do? Macam nak buang atas tu?
Tambah CLC dekat atas ni.
Okay, that's a good suggestion, CLC. And it is also advisable for any program to start, you type clear all. Why we do this? Because sometimes you have existing variable yang ada kat sini. Ingat tak tadi saya masa mula-mula tadi saya ada variable A, E besar. Lepas tu saya delete. Ingat tak tadi? Why not kita clear dulu siap-siap ke atas and then we rerun it again. Nampak So try to see what is the effect by putting CLC and TR, run it again and see the effect, and you may see only the output of the current output that you want displayed on the screen. Much more neater lah, tidier and lebih tak sakit kepala lah tengok. Kan? Tak percaya kita run lagi lah. Kita run sekali lagi. Yang ini letak output lain. Katalah ni 10. Ini 12. Whatever value. Run it again. And see the current output is 10 and 12. And you may see that a better experience of using Octave lah. Because you have a fresh screen. And only the output that needed is displayed. Okay.
Okay.
Boleh?
Boleh.
Okay. In your C++, I think you have studied about command line, is it?
Yeah.
Command. So, what is the function of command line in C++ that you have studied before? What is the function? Rasa-rasa apa guna command line masih belajar C++ dulu? What is the function? Dah lupa dah? Betul-betul tutup buku tu. Okay?
Sorry.
Okay. The function of a command line in any language will be the same. The function is to give some description to the programmers so that the programmer will know all about the program that he type. Okay, contohnya lah. I want to put my name in this Octave, so I will use command line lah. So the command line can be done by typing single percentage symbol, and you can tell lah, this is my program, and apa-apalah, my program done by, let's say, by myself lah, say Syarul, let's say group PEC 2217A1, let's say, okay. And also you can describe each of the line with command line by using the same thing, single percentage. So maybe this is to clear the screen. So orang tahulah nanti bila buka program ni, dia buka balik nak belajar, oh line ni untuk clear screen. Nah, dia tahulah kan. This one is to clear all variables. So tujuannya nak memberitahu sedikit maklumat lah. Ini apa? Contohnya yang ini diameter pertama, kan? Yang ini diameter kedua. Yang ini katalah the computation of area. Okay. So katilah tulis apa? Saya tulis bla 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 whatever. As long as the command line related to that line lah, whatever. Okay. So see what will happen if I run. Nothing happened actually. The output still the same. Only it runs only the black color command and ignore the green color because the green color is only command line. So in your programming nanti, saya nak juga you letak command line because this give you marks in your you punya practical test. That's why I want you to show it by video how you do it that program. Because I want to see you letak tak CLC, you letak tak KLR, ni semua bawa markah tau. You letak tak command line, ini semua memberi markah. Faham Okay. So satu lagi sometimes you need to display the output of certain variables only. Sometimes I don't want to show A equal to 10, B equal to 12. But I want only to show area, moment of inertia and radius of gyration only. So how can I possibly control that? So that A is equal to 10, B is equal to 12 does not display. Tapi dia akan display area, moment of inertia and radius of gyration. Rasa-rasa macam mana saya nak buat tu? Yang ni dua ni akan hide, tapi tiga ni akan keluar.
Letak clear kat bawah lah, Cik.
Oh, boleh clear kat bawah mana?
Bawah B tu letak clear A dengan B.
Satu cara yang kurang tepat lah. Dan dia pun tak digalakkan buat macam itu. Boleh buat gitu tapi tak digalakkan lah. There is a very good way. You nampak you berfikir tu. Bagus lah tu. Cuma tak recommended to do that. Okay. One of the way is very easy. You just point your cursor at the end of the line and just you put this symbol only. Semicolon. When you put semicolon at the end of the command, meaning that you ask Octave to hide A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 10. Dia akan hide. Okay, cuba kita tengok betul tidak? We run Okay, sebelum saya run tengok output ni. A wujud, B memang wujud. Okay, sekarang ni saya akan run. See what will happen to the command window. There is no A, there is no B, but only area, moment of inertia and radius of gyration is calculated. Tapi cuma saya nak tanya kat you, A dengan B tu sebenarnya ada ke tak ada?
Ada.
Ada, macam mana nak bagi dia tahu ada tidak? Apa cara dia? Macam mana saya tahu dia ada?
Tengok
Ada
dekat
Workspace,
variable.
Either to look at Workspace or you can type that variable itself. A, memang ada pun. B, memang ada pun. Cuma dia hide. Yes? Siapa-siapa nak tanya?
Kalau kita letak CLC bawah A dengan B tu tak boleh ke?
CLC Okay, try. Buang ni dulu. Kalau tidak tak ada efek lah. CLC. Macam tu. Okay, try to run it. Boleh juga. Tak ada masalah. Cuma tak pernah saya nampak orang nak buat dua CLC dalam satu program lah. Saya tak pernah nampak lah. Biasa akan gunakan satu saja CLC. And usually we can easily control tempat yang mana kita nak. Katalah saya nak control kat sini saja tak display. Di tempat yang tak ada asterisk, tak ada simbol ni, dia takkan kacau lah. Kita contoh tengok ni apa jadi. Then you may see that only B is displayed, yang lain akan display. Nampak Kalau katalah saya letak dekat ini area ni, saya buat macam ni. Ini pun saya buat begitu juga. And this part also I put ni. So if I run, you may see only B is only displayed. Nampak? Dia much more easier lah. Sebab you cuma letak simbol ni je. Daripada letak CLC kan 3 perkataan. Agak panjang tu kan. Yang ni letak simbol ni je. Asterisk semicolon saja. Much more faster lah. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So CLC tu boleh juga. Tak ada masalah. Cuma dipanjang sikit lah. Tulis lah. Yang ni senangnya. You calik ni. Letak ini je. Semicolon. Boleh
Boleh, sir.
Okay, good. Very good. So that is only from me. That's all from me. For your exercise, please open your Octave MS Team. There is lab 1. This exercise is from A anti I. Saya yakin you boleh buat dalam masa 15 minit je cuma ni. Nak buat ni cuma 15 minit. But to give the answer, you put it in padlet.com. Padlet.com. Please use computer version lah. Jangan guna Android lah. Susah nanti nak gunakan phone sebab dia kecil. Kalau pakai komputer ni besar sikit yang nampak. So please log in with your Gmail account and your own password lah. So please provide to me nanti this username and password. You put in the Word file and then letak ke dalam MS-Team. So jangan letak password yang berkenaan dengan Maybank you, tak mau You create lah password yang you tak ada kena-mena dengan account you. Saya tak nak hack account you pun. Cuma I want to have this password because I want to see the content of your Padlet. You dapat kerja tidak? Itu aja tujuannya. So ensure that you use password which is not related to your account. Yang sensitif. Guna akaun yang biasa saja. Gunalah password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ke yang senang lah. Dan letak password username dalam Word and put in inside MS Team so that I can access later on. So you are given only 1 week to do this to perform this exercise. Tolong buat sendirilah sebab kalau you nak copy kawan memang boleh, tak ada masalah. Ini semua bergantung pada kejujuran you. You nak subcon pada kawan ni memang boleh, cuma you tak belajar, itu je. Kan? Belajarlah sebab by ODL ni lagi you buat you belajar lagi dengan cara yang lebih individu. So tolong mahirlah secara sendiri. Kecuali kalau Iman tak faham, tanya kawan itu boleh. Tapi jangan copy, buat sendiri. Boleh? Okay.
Boleh,
So that's all from me. If there is no questions, yes, apa soalan?
Macam mana kalau kita nak delete yang common history tu sir?
Oh, nak delete. Yeah. If you want to delete, you have to control it from. I have to open back my. There is one option here called as preferences. Preferences. Okay. You have here clear common history. Nampak ni? Dia ada dua cara. Satu pakai preferences. Satu lagi pakai common history. So when I click this, all of the common history will gone lah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, kalau preferences you boleh check lah sendiri. Dia ada lagi pakai preferences ni ada lebih detail lagi lah.
Okay.
Okay, so tengok kat sini dekat mana ya? Bukan workspace ya. Sekejap. General. Command. Saya tak pasti kat dalam Matlab dia ada. Kat dalam sini Octave saya tak pasti dekat preferences ni. So yang senang tadi saya tengok tadi dekat bahagian ni lah. Ada clear workspace lah, clear command history lah. You nak clear command window tak type CLC, boleh klik ni je. Dia akan klik boleh juga. Cuma by typing CLC, you will use programming style. You program it on your own. By using this, you are not programming it. You just use your mouse. Okay. Okay. So if there is no question, so we end our class. So you can use that your another 1 hour to do other works. Maybe you can start your work using the lab number 1. So you can do that 1 hour. So with that, I will end the class. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good evening.
Okay, thank you sir.
Salam.
Thank you, sir.
Salam.
Dah. Oh. Aisyah, dia tak mau. Dia main Vincent.
Minta yang lain juga dismiss ya sebab saya nak ambil attendance. Kalau you tak leaving out, you punya attendance takkan ada ni. Time out tak ada. Nur Anissa dengan Muhammad Nur Aizuddin yang belum lagi keluar.
Set, no?
minta Nur Anissa dengan Muhammad Nur Aizuddin leave leave meeting sebab saya nak ambil attendance. Kalau tidak nanti you tak ada time keluar, you cuma ada time masuk je. Nur Anissa dengan Muhammad Nur Aizuddin. Atau Muhammad Nur Aizuddin dengan Nur Anissa ni memang tak ada kat depan komputer pun tadi.